Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Varsity Esports STEM League playoffs. My name is Podslam. Over on the other side of the caster booth is my man Cracking Biscuits. Biscuits,
Yo,
we are in for a treat today, my friend. We got some exciting Super Smash Brothers Ultimate action ready for everybody. And does look like we got some pretty star-studded teams that are trying to make their way towards the end of the playoff bracket. Top two teams make it out and are going to be finding themselves heading playing in the LAN, but you got to get to the end first. This is only the first round, so quite a way to climb, though.
that is very, very truthful. I am very excited for all the matches today. We
Yep.
got what is it? Three games today.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited. I'm excited to see how these teams operate and seeing who's going to be able to make it to the final brackets. We definitely got some intense matchups. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely. We are only going to be able to stream 3 of the matches today, one from the corners, one from the semi, and then obviously the grand finals. But each of these teams is wanting to take their place in that grand final. You know, it's always nice to make it in the grand final, but even if you can win it, man, get you some extra money in your pocket. That's always pretty nice. But yeah, if we are able to take a look at that bracket for today, that'd be to just see what type of action we got. So I know that we are going to be seeing Enloe take on Fuquay-Varina here in a little while, but the rest of these squads, just because they might be lower seed than Enloe, does not mean that they are any less favorites for this playoff picture.
Absolutely. I am definitely looking out. I'm gonna be a little biased here. I am going to be rooting for the Holy Springs. Don't know them personally, but I have a feeling in my gut they're definitely got something brewing in their gameplay, in their play style. So
An early upset is always nice to see. It creates a little bit of chaos. I've been involved in so many different tournaments over the years that whenever you get an upset that you just completely did not expect, man, it just makes everything nice because then that team can go on and make a run because if if Holly Springs are able to take that first round matchup and then maybe even a second round matchup, you have that 7 seed going on to the grand finals, advancing to the LAN. That is just a absolute, Cinderella run. It's only 2 rounds that they have to win, but it is still difficult. I mean, it's not like this is a cakewalk for any of these teams. The first 2 rounds are going to be best of 3. So you have best of 3 in the quarters, best of 3 in the semis, and then we got that BO5 in the grand finals. So lot of possibility for action over there, but I'm definitely looking out for it.
yeah, honestly, it's anybody's game. Tonight we'll be able to see it. We'll see who's gonna be able to take the cake and then make it to the finals. I'm very, very, very stoked to see how they do, and even just getting to see who they pick and who they decide to play against, and what characters they're picking. I'm intrigued. I'm curious. They got me. They got me curious.
Yeah, the meta for Smash is one that is always consistently changing. So I know, like whenever Smash first came out, there were definitely uh, big names that would just only stay with like a few of the of these different heroes. But then obviously, as more and more are added, you see it shift a lot as nerfs and buffs go through. Everyone likes to have their own little pocket pick that they like to do, but I believe we are going to be able to get into this first game, which is definitely going to be confirming or denying any of our preconceived notions about what they might pick, what we like to play when we play Smash. I definitely think that's going to be a little bit different. I just like playing characters that are fun. What is fun and what is competitively viable, excuse me, aren't always the same.
Very correct.
All right, hopping into game number 1, we got Young Link taking on Sephiroth. And I was definitely expecting Sephiroth. Every time I'm always playing Super Smash Bros., Sephiroth definitely seems to be like a fan favorite.
Is Sephiroth meta currently in this season?
I just know, for lack of a better term, very overpowered. But right now, Bone is just giving Link Master the business.
Oh.
Doesn't even look like it's anywhere close. Bone just using that range that Young Link does have, but doesn't mean that Link Master is not able to get some counter. And look at that.
It's a nice hit for Link Master right there. Oh, Bone is just too good, man.
Link Master gets shot out of the Pokemon Stadium, and oh no. Oh, I thought he just actually set SD'd right there. That would have
nice rebound, nice recovery. I like it.
It was all a part of the plan. It was to give Bone a little bit of hope, a little bit of, you know, morale boost. But right now, Link Master not able to hit much of anything. Is just getting shot from a distance.
I think Bone is a different league right now than Link Master. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. We'll see.
Careful here. That is what Sephiroth is so good at. Those ranged explosives. Being able to do so much damage to a character like Young Link. Right now, oh, we broke the shield. Oh, goodbye, friend.
And that's done for Bone, man.
That was about what I expected from that entire sequence. And now that the stocks are even, the percent advantage is in favor of Bone. So Link Master's got to be careful that he doesn't get too close to Bone like that.
Honestly, I've seen it come back. I don't think Link Master is gone. I think he's able to bring it back. He can recover. He can redeem himself. You know, being down most of the lives, I think he can come back and get Bone right back to his level.
He absolutely can, especially if he's able to hit a few of those little projectile bombs, because Sephiroth does deal so much damage, and that's why he's one of the best heroes that you can play. You call them heroes in Smash, I think.
Heroes, characters,
heroes. Yeah. I'll say characters, because not everyone in Smash is a hero. You got like Bowser, and I mean,
got villains.
Yeah, like Sephiroth himself. I mean, very much a villain. But
Sephiroth did just get another hit on Bone. Oh, too late.
Doesn't even matter. Bone coming out with the first win of this BO3. But like we said, BO3, you gotta win 2 matches. Can't win just one. And Link Master definitely has the opportunity to make that comeback. Can always send us to that game number 3. And I wonder if the Sephiroth is going to remain the same, or if we're going to see, you know, a bit of a change in that, and, you know, try and mix up with your opponent what you're going to throw at him.
Absolutely. I think Sephiroth in this last game, I liked what he was doing, except when you're looking at Young Link, you can see that he's taking control of the game. He's taking control of the round. So I don't think, unless Sephiroth comes in and takes control of the game in the round, I think he's just gonna get controlled by Young Link again. He's got to be aggressive. He's gotta just put more pressure on Young Link.
Yeah, those boomerangs, those flaming arrows were just doing so well against Sephiroth. And I mean, Link Master was doing his best to, you know, try and get on top of Bone to try and close that distance, but Bone was just so good at evading, so good at making sure that he always had that advantage. So we're gonna see if we can hop into this game number 2, try and fight. Going down 2-0 would definitely be a sad way to exit yourself out of this tournament. So Fuquay-Varina trying to find their way back in it, and Enloe trying to just make it one step further, one step closer to that land.
See, we got a character change here on Link Master's side.
That's going to make all the difference. Bones just picking up right where he left off.
He's got flawless footwork. He's got flawless, like, his play style is just unmatched. I feel bad. I'm sorry, but Link Master, they're just, it's out of your league, at least right now.
Yeah, right now, you got to be careful. Don't want to get too close to the sun right there, but Link Master, he's got some percent advantage on top of Bone. I'm sure Bone is, just look at that, just dodging, rolling, bobbing, and weaving, doing about everything that you can. even the stocks out, and yes, he does. 2-2. Bone still has that percentage advantage. That bomb thrown right up into the face of Linkmaster. Bone has yet to take any hits in the second stock, and just as I say that, he's going to cast a curse.
Let's see who's able to take advantage of this life right here. 120 and 48%. Linkmaster seems done.
Yeah, I was about to say Linkmaster's in that range to get shot off the map, so he has to play a lot more defensively. But now he's down to a smaller percentage. But right now, Bone evening that percentage and is now the one who has the percentage advantage and almost about to like a clean 100% to 0 Linkmasters. That's it. That's so close.
Bone's getting to work. Oh my gosh, a suicide. That is insane.
Oh, that is not the way you want to end out, Linkmaster. To quote a very influential man, it's a misinput. It's a misinput. He did not mean to do that. Definitely unlucky to say the least. But, you know, I think regardless if that happened or not, I mean, Bone just seemed in control the entire time. I mean, there was never once where, you know, it looked like Linkmaster had any sort of control, because Bone was always the one to get the first blood, and then Linkmaster had to even it back out, and then you know, Bone was so good about controlling the tempo, controlling the pace of the fight. And, you know, I think that's what separated him from Linkmaster today. And now Enloe are going to be up 1-0 and are one step closer to winning this BO3.
Yeah, no, I echo everything you just said. I think even seeing the percentage advantage between Linkmaster and Bone, you can see that Bone was able to level out the field if he was at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
But even when he wasn't at a disadvantage, he was able to keep it. He was able to keep that advantage on Linkmaster, and
Yeah.
that's what I love to see when it comes to these games. Is I love to see when a character and a player is able to just take control and just run it. It was at the end of the day, it was Bone's tournament, and it wasn't Linkmaster's tournament. But we'll see what happens in this next round.
Yeah, we have to hop into the next round. You got to rely on your team, got to rely on everybody. It is not a one-man show. It is a one-man show for your specific match, but for the entire tournament, you are not able to win every single thing by yourself. So we're going to hop into round 2, Enloe and Fuquay. Fuquay trying their best not to find a first round exit, but they're going to have to make it up here. We have Parzival and Aksu taking on each other. And these are two completely different characters that we saw from the previous round.
I do love to see me some Yoshi gameplay, though. This is going to be very, very fun to watch.
Yoshi gameplay. I think Yoshi's the character my wife always picks whenever we play Super Smash Bros. So I never understand it, but, you know, sometimes she is able to beat me on the Yoshi. So it is definitely viable if you are able to play it well. And right now, Parzival getting messed up by Aksu on this Yoshi.
Oh, that is a nice hit by Yoshi. Let's see if he can recover this. Let's see if he can bring it back. Parzival
just doing such a great job of making sure Parzival has so little time to, you know, get their bearings, to figure out what their game plan is going to be. But now it's Parzival's turn to do that juggling, but it's such a close game. Even though the percentage is very much favoring Aksu, it's still so close between these two players.
It seems like Parzival keeps trying to run away from Yoshi, but Yoshi was able to just get that hit on him and just run it. I love it.
He's getting a nice little down smash there, and now got to even out the percentage. Aksu at 82%. That's definitely enough to get knocked off if you are not careful. But right now, he's just doing such a good job of kiting around Parzival and just making sure that he's controlling the tempo.
It seems pretty even here. Let's see who is able to take the advantage of the 86%, 83%. Is it going to be Parzival or is it going to be Aksu? It seems like Aksu is able to put in more pressure. And he takes that kill.
Holy cow. See, Axu started that second stock with, I think, 82% and finished it with 86%. So he did such a great job of just dominating Parzival right there. Wants to try and 3-0 Parzival if he's able.
Seems like EXO is able to not only land his hits, but also able to dodge and maneuver Parzival. As soon as I say that, like you said, the curse cast.
The good old caster curse. You love and hate to see it depending on who you are rooting for here. But Parzival now has to go through. Uh-oh. Almost fell off the map right there, but they made it work.
Yeah. Good use of util on Parzival's side.
Now this comes the hard part for Parzival. Not only do you have to get this stock advantage evened out, but it doesn't even matter. Ooh. Off the map, and Axu takes a 1-0 lead in this match.
Still anybody's game.
Yes.
Still anybody's game. They can still bring it back. 1-0 doesn't mean defeat. It only means that you have another chance to be able to even out the playing field.
That's right.
I'd love to see Parzival come back and do some more setup and then see who takes it.
Yeah, Parzival, I think like Linkmaster might need to just swap up what character that they are playing, because Isabel, I think, was just not as aggressive as Parzival needed to be, because, you know, Axu was similar to how Bone was in the previous match, just able to control the tempo, able to take the fights when they wanted to and not take the fights that they didn't want. So you are able to just dictate how and when you fight, who's going to win that fight. And if you are able to control that, you are going to win 95% of the time.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we'll see if they do end up switching characters, if that will benefit them or not. I think, to be honest, on a subjective perspective, is that with the way that Bone and Axu have played, they have very similar play styles, and I wonder if I wonder if Parzival will be able to acknowledge that and able to plan his attacks more strategically next time.
Yeah, we'll see if there's going to be a swap in characters here in this second match. Got Axu with that 1-0 map advantage. So can they take it and send Enloe one round further into the semifinals? Or is it going to be a map number 3 for this particular series? And then maybe even the remainder. It's actually going to be another Isabel versus Yoshi matchup. Parzival just needed a water break, needed to catch his bearings, and it's coming out done amazing.
You definitely see that Parzival is taking more of the lead here, with more damage done on Axu than Parzival.
Be careful though. Whenever you get these percentage advantages, you don't want to get cocky, nor do you want to get complacent. So you want to find that little sweet spot of, okay, I'm still winning this fight, I can cool off a little bit, but you don't want to let them take this tempo back. And right now, it is a very even matchup. Can Parzival get this first level, the second map? It's incredibly close.
As you can see, Parzival he's keeping his distance from Axu. He keeps using full attacks, and I think that's exactly what he's got to keep doing. He's got to keep his distance and close it in just like that.
Close the gap that matters. Axu, for the first time in this map, finds himself a stock disadvantage between Parzival, but almost getting too far off the map was Parzival. Actually even it out, and yes they do. Back to even.
Even after that death, Parzival came in guns blazing after respawn.
A few of those invincibility frames that you want to utilize as much as you can, but Parzival has that advantage. He's trying to get some damage back on the Axu. Axu does such a great job of dictating this tempo.
This is truthfully anybody's game right now. I'm very curious to see who's going to end it with this round.
Yeah, I think those those rockets that Parzival continues to put on the ground. Axu, it's like just situational awareness. You just kind of forget that it's there, and then all of a sudden you're in the middle of fighting and you run back over. You gotta be careful. Those things can kill you.
Parzival is just not giving him any choice. If he tries to stay long, if Yoshi tries to keep distance, he gets hit by the fishing pole. If he goes into the gap, he gets hit by the rocket. I simply don't know what I would do at the side. Just like that.
You're exactly right. It's sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do I get destroyed with the fishing rod or the rockets? Or a mixture of both, but it is now one stock v1 stock.
These are the games that you want to see. This stock right here of just being one-on-one every single time, being able to see who is going to be able to clutch it.
Wants to say one step closer. Even if Parzival does win this, they still have to win one more map against Axu. It's not just game over if they win this, whereas if Axu wins, the entire series is over. And Parzival make it happen so far, yes. Be careful here, Parzival just trying to play that advantage best as they can with the fishing rod.
Ooh, nice hit. Keep going. Parzival's taking advantage of the defenders that he has. There you go.
Doing such a good job, but just as I say that, gets caught by the fishing line. It's caught again! Parzival comes from behind and wins, sending us to a third map. Parzival not wanting to see his squad go home just yet, and that looked like a completely different player than that first game. Did Parzival give his controller to his older brother or something? Like it was like there was such a unique switch there that in that first map Parzival just looked so passive, and in that second one it was the most aggressive Isabelle that you will ever see. I mean, just taking so many fights and winning almost all of them.
Yeah, there's definitely, you can see that there was a shift in his play style. He hit the flow state right away, and he was able to just go in. He was able to even out the playing field, and then when he did have an advantage, he was able to take it. Those are the games that we love to see, being able to put two players against each other, and you can see a consistent battle. It's not a wipeout. It's not a slow play, but you can see them fighting consistently, and I love to see it.
Fuquay-Varina's backs are against the wall. Enloe trying to just close it out and secure their spot in the semifinals. We're going to head into this map number 3. Axu does not have momentum on his side anymore. He did in that second map, and it came back to bite him. We'll see if Parzival is able to fix it. And look at this. Once again, another Yoshi 3, Isabelle.
2, 1. Go!
I'm surprised that there wasn't a specific character on each side, but they might not know that.
Obviously, these two players are very comfortable on Isabelle and Yoshi, so not wanting to change up the flow on either side, but Parzival picking up the fight where he left off. Said it earlier, and I agree. You either play long and get hit with the fishing rod, or play short and get hit with the rocket. What do you want to do? How do you want to play it?
And as you can see, Axu seems to be adapting to that play style when he's using his range attack. There's distance, and the Tyson goes in with an uppercut, but he doesn't have as much util as Parzival.
I definitely think the range advantage is in favor of Isabelle as a character. Up to Axu to not get too close, though. Stock advantage is now in favor of Parzival.
Axu can easily take that stock advantage back as long as he keeps the pressure. He is at 129%.
Parzival did absorb the Yoshi edge there, which is the first time he's done it all series, and actually, just as you said it, takes that documented back. Now we're back to the playing field and nearly identical percentage. Wow.
I wonder who's going to be able to take the lead in this round right here. You can see that Yoshi's playing a bit aggressive, but he's getting caught by that rocket.
Inside of Axu. He just forgets about it every now and again and forgets about it at the worst possible times, but he does have a percentage advantage. Gotta be careful. He threw our Parzival too close to this Yoshi. Right now, Parzival just juggling Axu as best as he can.
Open, he's coming back. Actually coming back with that hit. He's keeping him on the edge of the map.
This is so incredibly close. A nice parry out of Parzival, but it doesn't come into anything just yet. Rocket once again.
Well, he's able to recover. He's able to bring it back. Maybe he's able to hit it. No, he is not. Actually, with another loss.
Incredibly close, Biscuit. This first round matchup. Can Fuquay-Varina send us through a match number 3? Even Steven one join, but Axu does not want to see that happen. Has to play near perfectly. Send Enloe to the semifinals, and all comes down to this one stock each.
We might be looking at a third match here if Axe is able to take it back. Or sorry, if Parzival is able to take it back, we might be looking at a third.
Axu, consecutive hits. It's so incredibly close. The Rocket once again reposition.
If Axe keeps that pressure on the edge of the stage, he might be able to keep control on Parzival. He's landing hits. He just got to keep him on the edge.
Catch the other slipping. Right now it is Axu who's doing it. Gets the kickflip and sends Parzival off the map. Axu did not look like he was in the driver's seat, but clawed his way back in that map number 3 and sends Enloe to the semifinals. That was a heck of a performance out of Parzival.
Yeah, I gotta say, I gotta hand it to those two players. They definitely put it out all on the field. There was no holding back. You could see during those 2 matches that they were giving it their all, and that's some quality gamers right there.
Yeah, it looked completely different in match 1 to match 2. Bone just seemed confidently ahead in that first in that first match, and then Axu won the first one. It looked pretty dominant. Then Parzival came back, and then that third one, it was down to the wire. It could not have been any closer than it was, and now Enloe find themselves into the semifinals. And sadly, Fuquay-Varina not going to be participating anymore, but we'll have to see what that semifinal matchup looks like. We're going to throw it to a short break, and while we figure out these semifinal matchups, don't look away from that browser. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Varsity Esports STEM League. I'm Podslam over there. Oh, I got it right. Yeah, I almost never get it right which way I'm pointing. So I'm glad I got it right the first time. Over there is Cracking Biscuits. And we just saw Enloe take on Fuquay-Varina and win. Map 1 was confident. Map 2 was not confident, but it was a win nonetheless, and booked their ticket for the semifinals. We have this bracket for you guys to see all of the quarterfinal and semifinal matchups and how they turned out, and 2-0s across the board, Biscuit.
Wow. Wow. It seems like the top brackets seem to be holding their weight. Enloe coming in with this next semifinal with SE. How do you say their last name?
Raleigh.
Raleigh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Southeast Raleigh.
Southeast
Yeah.
Raleigh. I'm very curious to see how Southeast Raleigh plays against Enloe, and if they're gonna change their characters. I feel like they did put up a good fight. They're probably gonna stay with the same characters and just keep running it.
Yeah, something that I do want to point out that you said at the very beginning, Holly Springs with the 2-0 upset in the first round. They are the 7 seed overcoming the 2 seed.
I should have put money on it. I didn't, but man, I believe that we might see Holly Springs in the grand final.
Ooh, a
And I
bold
hope
prediction.
to see it. I hope to see it happen to come fruition.
I love it. I love to see it, but we will sadly not be able to see their semifinal match. So we'll only have to put our thoughts and prayers towards that match and hope we will see the 7 seed in the grand finals. But right now, Enloe taking on Southeast Raleigh. Enloe did look pretty strong in that first quarterfinals, but everybody went 2-0. So technically everybody looks strong when you win your series 2-0.
Yeah, they're definitely going against some good competitors. They're gonna have to put their money where their mouth is and
Yes.
really take control of this game. I'm super excited to see how Enloe's gonna do against Southeast. I think they're gonna put up a good fight, and I'm excited to see how Southeast plays and seeing how well they compete as well.
Yeah, we're going to head into that first map of this best of 3, Enloe versus Southeast Raleigh. Winner goes on to the grand finals. Loser goes home. Who's your money on? And looking at this, Bone this time on the Sephiroth, and we have Cryo taking on Toonlink.
3, 2, 1.
Interesting. Sephiroth's picked by Bone. I wonder to see how he's gonna play this against his own Young Link.
Yeah,
No,
here, go ahead.
I will say now that Sephiroth Bone is playing Sephiroth against Young Ling, he, in my opinion, has an advantage to be able to know how he plays, to understand the character.
Yeah, a lot of all of the Link characters play relatively similar to each other. There's obviously small little nuances in between them, but right now, Cryo making it known that he is a pretty solid Toon Link player himself, but Bone is just playing such an incredibly strong character in this Sephiroth. And look at this, so even between these two squads.
Ooh, nice bait by Bone here with his shield.
Gotta be careful if you are Cryo. Don't get it caught out by Bone. But look at these two players just being so aggressive. Both of them at over 100%. Wow, look at that.
Definitely. Oh, wow. And Bone comes in with the hit. Cryo down 1 life.
Now it is up to Bone to try and play as safe as he can around this edge. But look at that. Already 60% on Cryo. Bone has yet to take a hit in this second stock and is just dominating Cryo.
It seems like Cryo likes to keep his distance, but now he's up and close, trying to get that kill again. Now we're at even playing field with Cryo and Bone. Let's see who's going to take the advantage of this.
Bone just coming in, guns blazing, sends Cryo back to the Shadow Realm. Both at 0% now, but Bone with a full stock advantage, similar to Axu in that last series. Gonna have to play near perfectly to win this first map, but Looks like Bone is just owning the battlefield. Oh, and just immediately spikes him off the map. Wow, Bone picking up right where he left off.
With 2 lives to spare, also, Bone ran that like it was his own game. I love to see it.
Yeah, he said, "Oh wait, you're playing one of the Link characters? Oh, I'll just play Sephiroth and destroy you on the character that you think you are so good at." And we saw Link Master in the previous series against Bone did swap characters from map 1 to map 2. So we will have to see if Cryo is going to do that as well. But you could always stick on that Toon Link because Cryo did look pretty solid on it, but Bone just dominating the playing field, just not letting Cryo have any space, not letting him get any damage off, and ultimately just countering him at every single point.
Yeah, they definitely did not give them the way they fought, they didn't give each other any time to breathe. They were
Yeah.
both playing super aggressive. Toon Link, he was trying to use his advantage with his distance, with his projectiles, but Sephiroth Bone was able to close it in every single time. And I
Mhm.
think Sephiroth, with the advantage of knowing how to play Young Link, even though he was playing against Toon Link, was able to give him an advantage in
Yeah.
knowledge. And I think people have said, knowledge is half the battle.
hmm Yeah, knowing your enemy is already halfway to beating them. And right now, Bone holds that 1-0 map advantage. We're going to hop into map number 2 to see if Cryo can make that comeback, to see if Cryo can send us to a map number 3, or if Bone is just going to continue this sweep that he has been having. I mean, 1-2-0 in the quarterfinals. Can Bone win 2-0 in the semis? And Cryo's actually sticking to the Toon Link, but now it's Bone who's playing Link. So we have seen all 3 Link variants already, which is actually quite funny.
Seems like we got Link versus Link. We'll see who's the better Link.
Which Legend of Zelda game is your favorite? Bone says, I'm more of a Breath of the Wild type guy, but can Cryo show him that is not the correct answer to that question?
Seems like they're playing very distance based with their projectiles, but then Bone is always able to close in that distance. Man, it's insane how well he's able to play his projectiles while still putting pressure on Cryo.
Just hopping and skipping around, just almost falling off the map there, but you got to be careful. Don't get too comfortable around this edge, or else Cryo will be the one edge guarding you right there. But both these guys just trading blows with one another, nearly identical percentage. But can Bone find the breakthrough?
I'm very surprised that Bone went in with the character swap. He was doing so well with Sephiroth. I was surprised to see him switch, but he's doing just as good with Link.
Just as good with Link as with Sephiroth, as with Young Link. Right now, both these players over 100%, and Bone's the first one to draw blood here in the second map.
Let's see if if Cryo is able to keep advantage with the percentage. He's able to put pressure, but it seems like Bone loves to keep that pressure on Cryo himself.
That remote bomb out of Bone. So deadly in Bone! What was that, my friend?
Bone said, no, not today. You're in my tournament.
Bone just owning all of the competition that he is facing. Is he able to restock Cryo here? That is the ultimate goal, and almost gets knocked off the map. One more big hit should do it. Can Cryo find it?
Oh, you can feel the pressure. You can feel the tenseness building up on Bone. He knows that he has high percentage, but he still wants to get this kill. He wants to get that flawless victory.
So good for the morale of the entire Enloe squad. Southeast Raleigh, this is not how you want to start, and Bone trying to knock himself back onto the map, accidentally knocks himself off of the border of the map.
He's coming in back with aggression. He's trying to keep that high percentage on Cryo, looking to see if he can get a good, skillful hit.
Skillful hit is what he needs. 120% on Cryo. If you get hit by one big attack, you are pretty much a goner. Can Bone find it? One little breakthrough. Is that it? Gets the bomb now. Pushes the bomb off the edge and gets the kill onto Cryo. Enloe gonna take a 1-0 advantage in this series. And Bone, I mean, just picking up right where he left off with that domination. And Cryo, I mean, it just never looked like they were in control. Just similar to Link Master in quarterfinals, did not look like it was it was in their favor whatsoever.
Yeah, Bone, he had that high percentage on his character, but he was still able to come back and just keep the pressure on Toon Link, and that's how you can tell. That's how you differentiate between person who is very, very skillful at their craft, and I can see that Bone has been practicing. You can see that he's definitely putting his money where his mouth is, and I have to say this right now, where I have never seen a play like that where you put the bomb down and just push it off. That I would have never expected that off of Boone, but he was able to play it off. I love to see it.
Yeah, there's a lot of nuanced things that you can do with Link with the remote bomb. So you got to be careful, because someone who knows how to effectively use it is going to make your day not very good. And Cryo definitely found himself on the wrong end of that bomb too many times in that series. So now Enloe up 1-0, but like I said earlier, you got to win 2 to advance. So Southeast Raleigh are not out of it just yet. We're going to hop into this second match. Going to see what these next 2 players are going to throw at us. Is it going to be more of the same that we saw in the quarterfinals, or is it going to be something different? Keep in mind, we did see Aksu on that Yoshi. See if going to keep playing it. Actually, yes, Aksu's going to be on the Yoshi, but LBM4 on the Little Mac.
I think this is the first time we're seeing LBM4 out on the field.
This is the first time for them, Southeast Raleigh. Little Mac is a very difficult hero champion, however you want to say it, to play, but right now Aksu getting messed up by this character. LB wanting to play.
Lil Mac is definitely putting the pressure on Aksu. He's not letting him get away from him, and with a major hit, now he's got his KO set up too. Lil Mac taking advantage of what he can.
Lil Mac is an incredibly difficult character to play, but if you are able to work well with him, build up that KO, to stay away from the edges, because his recovery is notoriously very bad. That is what I do remember about playing Little Mac. But if you are good with him, he's so fast, so quick, just able to get these punches, pun intended, and get back out like a boxer. But Yoshi, Aksu,
oh, and he lost his KO. Hate to see it. Aksu's keeping that distance, because he knows if he keeps that distance from Little Mac, he's able to... Oh, and he hit Little Mac off the field. That's exactly what you want to see from Aksu.
Aksu evening up the stocks, but LBM4 still has a massive percentage advantage. And just as I say that, goodbye Aksu. Sent off the map, and now Aksu has to play perfect. He wants to take a 1-0 lead. Can he find it?
Seems like Aksu can't catch a break. He wants to land in some hits, but Lil Mac is just so quick and is able to just guerrilla warfare him.
Got these nice hit and run tactics out of LBM4, knowing when he can go in for a hit, when he needs to head back out, and he gets the uppercut off the map. LBM4 taking taking a 1-0 lead in this second match, and Aksu gonna have to pull off some of those heroics that we saw in the quarterfinals if he wants to send Enloe to the grand finals.
That is absolutely right. LBM, he's definitely putting in the fight. He is carrying his team, and he's looking to keep that fight going. He doesn't want it to end just yet. He still got some fight in him, and I'm excited to see some more of those battles.
Yeah, Aksu up against the ropes, to use another boxing analogy. How many more can we find in this Little Mac match? But we'll have to see if LBM4 continues with the Little Mac as well. I mean, I think you would, considering how dominant you were on that map number 1, but we'll have to see in this map number 2. Are there going to be some changes, or is everything going to be the exact same? Aksu's definitely going to have to change something. If it's not their character, it's just their play style. How is it going to work? Who knows?
That is very true. I think Aksu would come pretty clutch if he does change his character. But if not, maybe he's able to take some knowledge from that last game and use it to his advantage, and is able to put up the fight against Little Mac and keep him on his toes. But we will see. We definitely will.
Yeah, Yoshi is very difficult to play the range game. Little Mac even more so. And we do see LBM4 now on a different character this time around.
Go!
Aksu sticking to what he knows, his bread and butter, the Yoshi.
As much as LBM4 gets twitch, he still pick a fighter.
Can it be enough to win it, though? Right now, Aksu with, gotta be careful here. Getting messed up by LBM4, but still holding on.
LBM4, even though he picked a 1-4 character, didn't land his heavy punches. And Aksu he's on his tiptoes right now.
Gotta be careful, and he gets absolutely slacked right there, but doesn't manage to get down a stock. This is so incredibly close between these two players.
Oh, and Aksu with the ranged attack, he's keeping him going.
Almost able to lose those edge, and LBM4 almost just diving himself off the map, but it doesn't even matter. Aksu takes the stock lead, but percentage is heavily in favor.
LBM4 can just get back on the stage. Pressure. And a suicide by Aksu. No.
So unlucky, trying to raise LBM4, but accidentally goes a little bit too far. Jumps off the map. So love to see it if you are LBM4. And elbows going, but it's even this. Such great performance by
Aksu, he loves to keep the distance, and he's closing it in. You look at that. Seems like I've seen LBM4 more off the stage than on the stage, though.
So far, it's what he's wanting. He's liking it just fine, but so is Aksu. Definitely liking to keep his opponent away from him, but oh my goodness. Goodbye, Aksu. LBM4 with the script. He's now finding himself with that stock lead. Be careful, though.
Stock lead still with the damage. But he doesn't care.
Stock lead, guys, of LBM4. He is going to take that stock lead and make his own. But Aksu, 36% to 0%. Biscuits, I've seen this episode before. The quarterfinals, can Aksu pull out the win?
We will have to see. Aksu does have 8%, but LBM has slowly miscoordinated his attack. But he's able to land hits on Yoshi, and he is out of it. That is
Mitsubishi wins.
Southeast Raleigh even the series 1-1 against Enloe. It's the first time Enloe has dropped a map. Granted, it was the first time Southeast Raleigh has dropped a map. So both of these squads are in uneven territory. We are in sudden death right now. The winner of this next match will head on to the grand finals. So both of these squads need to put up their best talent to see who can win. I mean, in that first round, Bone just looked incredibly great. In the second one, LBM4 looked incredibly great. We have not gone to 3 games in either of these series, so I don't think we have seen this third player for either squad. So it'll be interesting to see who they are and who they like to play, and if it is just going to be a clean sweep in the third match, or if we're going to be heading to all 3 games.
I can only assume from seeing the previous players that these upcoming players are gonna definitely be a treat to watch as they compete against each other. I'm excited to see what characters they play, just like you said,
Yeah.
and excited to see what kind of fight they put up. But it's honestly at this point, it's anybody's game. Like always, Enloe and Southeast, they're definitely this is the type of performance you expect out of these players. This is the type of gameplay you'd like to see in these tournaments. You want it back and forth. You don't want that wipeout. And I think we're gonna be treated nicely this next match.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see in this match, match number 3. Can Southeast Raleigh complete the reverse sweep, go from down 1-0 to winning 2-1, or is Enloe just going to cruise their way into the grand finals? Both of these teams having to find their third player on their squad. Let's check it out. These 2 players. Who's going to take it today? Is it Xander or is it L? Who's your money on?
I will say Xander with a Bayless character.
Go!
Xander take the W. Or is L going to secure it? Wanting to find themselves heading to land, because I remind everybody that all you have to do is make it to quarterfinals. I'm sorry, to grand finals, and then you will secure the spot at land. You don't even have to win grand finals. Obviously, you want to win grand finals, but there's a lot less pressure once you actually make it to the grand finals.
Absolutely. And as we're seeing here, Xander is definitely putting that pressure on. He is getting miscoordinated with his inputs against L, though. He needs to take a safe bet on his side.
Players 87 to 83%. Complete driver's seat. And just as I say that, L sends Xander flying off the map.
Gotta see if Xander will keep that pressure on to take that stocking advantage away from L. But it seems like L is able to use his shield as advantage to close that gap so that he's able to not let that percentage rise.
L finds himself back in the respawn pool. Trying to stay alive, trying to get some lead, some semblance of a lead if they can, and so far it's working out.
And a nice, not nice, I should say, recovery from L.
Definitely wanted to go differently if I was L, but Xander is playing that edge so incredibly well, knowing where to guard, how to guard, what abilities to use. That bow and arrow, like you said, just so much stress. Now, Xander, who finds himself inside of the map. Oh, barely misses the grab. Just a few inches away, and we find ourselves 1-1 in stocks.
This is even. This is if Xander and L can take this home.
And it doesn't even matter. Xander is going to gonna take map
Each battle
one.
a chance to grow.
Enloe, their backs against the wall. I mean, it looked so incredibly close between Xander and between LL. Not able to, make that comeback. And by the time he got Xander down to that last stock, just had way too much percentage, wasn't able to do much of anything, and, just found themselves getting guarded off the map and then obviously sent off the screen. So, map number 2, can L make a change? Are they going to swap characters? Are we going to see more of the same? But even if they don't swap characters, like we said earlier, you have to change something.
That's very correct. That's very correct. Xander did start the lead out and then was able to finish with the lead, and that's exactly what you like to see. I think with this next match, hoping to see a bit more of different characters, at least on L's side. I think that'll be the best competition. Bow and arrow on Xander's side was a bit too much of an advantage, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He was able to keep him off stage and was able to keep him high on percentage. So I'm excited to see what they decide to do with this next round.
Yeah, you want to be able to pick up where you left off if you are Xander, just to make it a clean 2-0, but L not wanting to go home just yet. We're going to hop into map number 2. Are we going to see any swaps? Are we going to see any changes? Or is it just going to be another old-fashioned gentleman's fight? And actually, yes, it is going to be a gentleman's agreement to play the same character.
3, 2, 1,
L's able to make the change at least.
Maybe L has something up his sleeve that he did not decide to reveal last game.
Is it going to be enough? Right now, these two players very even. And just as I say that, Xander takes a massive lead.
Seems like Enloe, it might have taken off a bit off more than they can chew going to southeast.
These squads 2-0'd their matchup in the quarterfinals, trying to make it even better for themselves. L finds himself off the map. Xander almost finding himself off the map right there.
His recovery is too good when it comes to playing Bailiff. He's able to maneuver, go on the stage, off the stage. He's always so unpredictable.
That's what I like about both of these teams. Both of them have been so good at playing around the edge of the map, just playing to their strengths of their characters and range, whether that is up close and personal or if it's somewhere in between. And Xander just missed? What was that?
I don't know. Maybe he decided to willfully not commit. No recovery.
Yeah, he wanted to give L a little bit of a chance. He said, "I'm just winning too much. I'm just gonna let you get back into this." But cockiness could be the end of it.
Very even. Seems like Xander is putting in work, seems like L is putting in work, and they don't want to give.
If no one wants to give, then somebody is going to have to break. Right now it is L down to their last stock. And Xander out.
Let's see if Xander can keep that stack advantage. Seems like L likes to keep on pressure though. Nice hit on L's side. And another hit.
Time dodging that sword, Xander. Careful, friends. But the percentage advantage is still heavily in favor of L, but the recovery and the knock right there. Now we're back to 1-1.
L's got to keep a lookout on that bow and arrow. Every time that Xander's off the stage, he always uses it.
Know your opponent right now. That's so close. I want to say one person is leading, but I can't because both of them are basically even.
There's too much damage being calculated between two parties.
Shield right there. Catch L out. So L. Gotta be careful, Fred. Down 45% and just doesn't have the recovery.
Each battle a chance to grow.
The W for Southeast Raleigh, sending our 1 seed in Enloe home. Wow, that is crazy.
Like I said, I think Enloe put off a bit more than they can chew when it came to going against Southeast, and you were able to see that here on this matchup. Not only was Xander and LBM4 putting in work, but they were able to show that they are just from another league.
Yeah, it was incredibly close. It's sad to see Bone go like that because Bone played a heck of a map number 1 to put Enloe back up. But the reverse sweep does go in favor of Southeast Raleigh, and they are going to find themselves in the grand final. Coming up here in a little bit, we're going to find that grand final matchup and see who Southeast Raleigh is going to be taking on to find themselves the champion of the Varsity Esports STEM League playoffs. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome everybody back to the Varsity Esports STEM League. I'm Podsum. Over there is Cracking Biscuits, and we just saw Southeast Raleigh take down the #1 seed Enloe on their way to the grand finals. And we were talking a little bit before we joined back on, and Cracking Biscuits, I don't know if you are a prophet or if you know are just able to see the future, but if we're able to throw up that bracket, there's a certain team in the finals that Mr. Biscuits definitely had his money on at the very beginning.
You know, you could just feel the energy when you see their name, Holly Springs. When the bracket pulled up for the first time today, I was like, man, out of all these teams, I feel like Holly Springs got something in them. They're different. They're built different, man.
Holly Springs has that dog in them, and it's actually quite interesting. There's a 5 seed and a 7 seed in the grand finals. No seed higher than 5 in the grand finals. No 1 seed, no 2 seed. The 3 seed got 2-0'd by Holly Springs. And the 2 seed got 2-0'd by Holly Springs too. So Holly Springs is just trying to kick butt and take names, and they find themselves along with Southeast Raleigh heading to the land, but they want a little bit more for themselves, and they want to claim the victory against Southeast Raleigh. But Southeast Raleigh looked pretty competitive in their series against Enloe.
That's definitely what we're looking at here. It seems like if Southeast Raleigh starts out well, they might have an advantage. But to be honest with you, with Holly Springs and the way they've been playing their competition, it seems like they have just been bulldozing through their competitors with zero care in the world.
Yeah.
We will see though. We'll see how well they put up a fight against Southeast Raleigh. They're completely two different beasts.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
Yeah, we'll hop into this first map, and I remind everybody that it is a best of 5. It is not a best of 3. Those are only in quarters and semis. So you got to win 3 matches. So you got to pull out all the stops if you want to claim victory. So can't just stop halfway, after you think you've won. You got to finish it to the end. And this will be the first time that we are seeing any of the Holly Springs players. So we'll have to see who they play, how they play. Are they aggressive? Are they defensive? Are they using range advantage to themselves? It is going to be interesting, but we'll have to find out in this map number 1. So Biscuits, what are your thoughts? What do you think Southeast Raleigh needs to do though to try and take this victory against Holly Springs? Because I mean, you said it, they've had this momentum, they've faced these pretty stellar teams so far.
In my opinion, I think what Southeast has to do here to be able to take that advantage in this match with Holly Springs is that I think they should play it very slow at the beginning to understand the type of people they're playing against. But that doesn't mean they go complacent in their play style. But for them to get enough information, enough knowledge to know that who they're going against, so they can fight and be more strategic in the way they fight against Holly Springs here. So I think Holly Springs and Southeast Raleigh, I think they still have potential. I don't think just because Holly Springs did really well against their competitors that they are going to be absolute titans. I think they can put up a complete, strong, competitive competition against Southeast Raleigh and Holly Springs. We'll see though.
Yeah, we'll have to hop into this first map between Southeast Raleigh and Holly Springs. We have Cryo taking on Sethri. Cryo back on that Toon Link, and Sethri on the Pac-Man.
We haven't seen any Pac-Man players yet on this tournament, so we'll see how well they do.
Pac-Man, one of the very interesting characters in this game. There's a lot of different things you can do with the fruit that he gets, with that fire hydrant and everything. So gotta be careful if you are Cryo to not get overwhelmed by just the sheer amount of things that Pac-Man has at his disposal.
He definitely has a lot of util, but so does Cryo with his explosive and arrows. But it seems like Sethri is getting super creative with his attacks here.
Almost gets hit with the bell right there, but so far so good for both of these players. Very even, and just as I say that, Cryo gets slung off the map. Doesn't even matter, but 75% is still a large percentage for Sethri, so he could very easily get evened out here in a second.
You can even see it by Sethri. You can see that it's almost like he's playing with his food, like he's an animal just playing with his food before he devours Cryo here.
Yeah, and so far he is just winning this duel. He's only taken 5% since, and as I say that, make it an extra 8% since Cryo respawned. So gotta pick up the pace if you are Cryo, if you want to find yourself back in the series.
Cryo is putting up a fight though, and one thing you can know about Cryo is that he will not lose, he will not lose his.
What were you saying?
What I was going to say is he will not lose his competitive spirit, which is still true, but he does take another loss from his life stack. Let's see, Sethri has a big advantage here.
Can Cryo take one stock off of Sethri? That's what you want to see, because keep in mind, Cryo got 2-0'd by Bone in the previous round. So the only match he has won was that first one in the quarterfinals. So wants to change that narrative about him, and so far Sethri is not wanting any sort of change.
Sethri's telling Cryo here, you are in my chamber, you will not leave alive. Oh, and Sethri gets hit by Cryo.
Says you will not leave her alive, and neither will I, apparently, as he finds himself dying as well. But and Cryo jukes, almost finds himself SDing, and it doesn't even matter. Sethri with a very confident first map victory.
Definitely took the cake on that one. Sethri said, you are mine, and he took the pot for that round. We'll see what he can do with this upcoming round, though. Very good Holly Springs player. Like I said, my money is Holly Springs. Let's see if I win also.
The momentum is definitely in their favor, because they have not dropped a single match the entire tournament. Southeast Raleigh has against Enloe in the previous matchup, and Cryo is just not having the best of times. I mean, this is his third consecutive map loss, if we're accounting with the semifinals matchup. So it could just be jitters. It could just be, you know, just not in the right headspace. It could be you just need to swap up characters, because keep in mind, a different character with a different play style could completely change how you are going to perform. So we'll see if Toon Link is going to be the same heading into map 2. But Sethri on this Pac-Man, let's talk about that. I mean, that just looked dominant just up until the very end. I mean, it was really looking like he was going to just 3-0 Cryo.
Yeah, no, I absolutely. Pac-Man was, the way he was running that match looked like he knew exactly what he wanted to do. He knew exactly where Toon Link was, and he was able to just keep him there. And you can tell that Pac just he had a plan, and he executed it super well. There was no faults in his plan, and even the times that he did lose or was getting outplayed, he was able to keep his advantage and his sharp edge, and that's what you like to see with Pac-Man.
Yeah, you got to keep your composure, got to keep your distance, and you got to play your character how you know how to play them. So we'll have to see in this map number 2 if Sethri is going to keep it the same, or if we're going to swap it up a little bit. And we do see a change out of Cryo playing my personal favorite character in Smash, Villager. So a lot of stuff you can do with Villager, but Sethri just comes out of the gate just choosing violence.
He definitely woke up on the wrong side of the bed, let me tell you. Sethri was like, nah, not today. I don't care who character you pick, I'll still demolish.
A lot of ways to counter Pac-Man with Villager. You have the absorption that you could absorb anything that he throws at you, but got to be careful. And seeing these rockets make a resurgence that we saw with the individual who played Isabel, and yeah, look right there, grabbed the bell out of Pac-Man. So now Sethri has to worry about that for the near future.
He's definitely keeping that pressure on with that rocket, making sure that he has less area of movement, which is definitely putting a damper on Sethri's play style. He's not able to be as fluid.
Not able to be as fluid, and so far, yeah, just as you said, he's able to use that rocket to keep the distance, just continuously add pressure. He's also able to use it as a movement tool if need be, but so far, it is anyone's game. Uh-oh, Sethri just almost finds himself off the map, but it's actually Cryo who's the one who's going to be in greater danger.
Oh my gosh, Sethri just does not want to stop, just chasing Cryo off the map, doesn't care how low he is. He wants that pressure to be non-stoppable.
He just picked up the fire hydrant out of Sethri. Didn't even know that was something you could pick up, and Cryo makes the first blood in the second map, and just as I say that, Sethri evens the score.
Yeah, Sethri's definitely on his sharp edge, but so is Cryo now with this new character. You definitely were right when you said there gotta be a switch up in characters, just because Cryo is putting up way better of a fight than he did last round.
And Cryo find the opening that he needs. So far, down nearly 3 times the percentage. Very close to evening it back up. Villager's such a small and slippery character that you gotta worry about it. Pac-Man just so good at controlling the environment, at controlling where your opponent goes. So who's going to take the advantage here? 4% difference between these two characters, now up to 6.
Sethri definitely just so fast with Pac-Man. His play style is keeping Cryo on his feet and then off his feet with that last kill. You gotta love to see that, man.
This is so incredibly close between these two characters. Holly Springs are making the miracle run. And look at this, Sethri just juggling Cryo off the edge, but Villager's recovery is so good that it's just so hard to get him off the map and have him stay there.
Ooh, grab that bell off of Sethri's hand again. Good.
And that's it. Just rebounds him off of the stage.
Wow.
Cryo not able to keep up with Pac-Man, with Sethri.
Yeah, you love to see that. Let me tell you, that Pac-Man game style absolutely took Cryo out the game. That aggressiveness, that fervor, man. I knew Holly Springs had it in him. I couldn't pinpoint it yet, and Sethri was able to show it. I hope that his teammates are either better or just as good as Sethri.
Yeah, I mean, Sethri looked entirely dominant on this Pac-Man. I mean, there was just nothing that it could be done. I mean, Cryo just very unlucky last 2 maps, dropping a point to Holly Springs, who now only 2 maps separate them between where they are currently and winning and going into LAN as the #1 seed out of this tournament. And, it's just hard. I mean, the character change was good. The character change was definitely something that I think Cryo benefited from, but the Pac-Man was just too good out of Sethri, knows that character too stinking well. And now it is up to the rest of Holly Springs to close it out. And we'll have to see how the rest of their squad adds up.
Yeah, that's definitely. I think with the way that Sethri played Pac-Man, he played it like he only plays Pac-Man. And going against somebody like that, I definitely would have a bit more fear in my step. But you never know with the second player of Southeast, Riley, and a new player from Holly Springs, there might be a different story. So definitely keeping us on our feet for this next match.
See how that map is going to turn out. We're going to head into map 1 of match number 2. Can Holly Springs continue this domination, or is Southeast Raleigh going to give us a series? Right now, we got LBM4 and Havoc. And keep in mind, LBM4 on this Little Mac, don't want to count him out.
I would have loved to see LBM4 against Pac-Man. I think that would have been a crazy lineup.
Yeah, Little Mac versus Pac-Man, LBM4 versus Seth3. You want to put your best player first, and obviously Southeast Raleigh believed that was Cryo in the last two series. But right now, Havoc not winning the percentage battle, and LBM4 just owning the show.
LBM4 definitely showing that he's not all talk. He walks what he talks.
He's able to back up all the action that he is bringing, just waiting out the special out of Havoc. Is it gonna work? And yes, it does. 118% and counting. Got to be careful though, Havoc. You don't want to get edge guarded there.
Ooh, nice block by LBM.
Be very careful if you are Havoc. One wrong move and you'll find yourself at the wrong end of the map. It's the first time we've seen Joker as well, so Little Mac very regular, but Joker on the other hand, one of the DLC fighters from oh so long ago. But it doesn't even matter. LBM4, nice little 1-2 combo off the map.
That is correct with Smash Bros. Oh, and a complete oversight on LBM4 with that stumble. Interesting play there.
Hate to see it. It was not what LBM4 wanted, but he doesn't even care. He's just going to continue with the violence. Can he find a nice right hook to send him with a better advantage? And so far, it's dead even.
It makes you think if LBM took that stumble as a bait for Havoc here.
Like I said earlier, wants to give him a little bit of confidence. Wants to try and help him out a little bit more.
He's almost close to closing in that KO for LBM.
Get hit with that, you are surely going to find yourself in a bad scenario, but LBM4 doesn't even need it. It's going to get him the old-fashioned way. Just look at that! 100! Was he at 0%?
He was definitely not at he's definitely low. That KO definitely took him off, whatever he had left.
Holy cow. I think that was 0%. I might be wrong. It might have been like 13 or 20 or something like that. But I'm telling you, you get hit with that KO. And unironically, it hits like a truck. So you're not going to have a fun time. And LBM4 making sure of that.
Yeah, he wants to keep it as even as possible here between Holly Springs and I like that. I like when it's a consistent fight between these two teams. Like you said before, like we've said before, a rock in a hard place and nothing to give. So something's gonna definitely break here.
Yeah. Both these teams trying to be as flexible as they can in their own styles, but not wanting to give their opponent any room to move. And now Southeast Raleigh looking to try and even up the series 1-1, but gotta win map number 2 if you are LBM4. LBM4 did swap from Little Mac in the semifinal matchup. I'm curious if he's going to do that again because, I mean, just looks so dominant on this Little Mac that I don't really see why you would change.
That's very true. He switched to a different character. And in my opinion, he did a little bit worse on that second character that he did a swap off on. So in my subjective opinion, I believe he should stay Little Mac.
Yeah.
And then continue that fight and keep it strong. But we definitely will see in this next matchup.
Gonna see in this map number 2, can LBM4 close it out and make it 1-1? Is actually going to stay on the Little Mac, and we have Crom out of Havoc. So change of pace over there.
1, go!
That's exactly what I was talking about right here. Little Mac, I think he wants to stay with what he's comfortable with, but he definitely wants to take the cake home.
Look at that, already 8% to 67. LBM4 has came to play.
Seems like Southeast Riley definitely wanted to hide their best player in the second bracket here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just them hiding their second player or if LBM4 is just having the time of his life. He's playing so incredibly well. Having to sadly play against this little man who's just been roughing people up all season.
LBM definitely putting in the pressure. He's hit a 99%, but got that KO and has got the 136, and he is out with that life. LBM is always putting the pressure in.
When he needs to and where he needs to. Mac does do a lot of damage. Deceptive from time to time, but like I said earlier, this recovery is not the best. He does manage to stay on stage.
Mac's timing is definitely impeccable here. He's able to dodge and punch when he needs to. And another kill! Or actually, no, that was LBM.
Yeah, Havoc.
I thought that was Havoc that lost the life.
Yeah, Havoc got the parry off onto LBM. So LBM, while he did get a nice clean hit, it was exactly what Havoc wanted him to do. So far, LBM did not like that happened to him. He's gonna take that second stock away from Havoc, send it down to his last legs.
LBM has some people to do wrong, and he's definitely showing it here.
Even up the series 1-1. Holly Springs wanting to remain undefeated in maps. Can they make it happen? The edge guarding Havoc evens it 1-1.
This definitely got me on the edge of my seat right now. This is definitely the match of a lifetime right here for LBM and Havoc.
LBM right now and gets the punch. Is it enough? It is. And we are going to even up the series.
Got a little easy for you, son.
1-1. Southeast Raleigh clawing back, making sure that they are not going to get swept today. And Holly Springs, unfamiliar territory, Biscuits. This is the first time they've dropped a map or a match, excuse me. So now they're gonna have to try and pick up the pieces and figure out, okay, where did we go wrong? How did we mess up? And gonna have to send it into match number 3 to see, what do you do? What do you change?
100%. It's Holly Springs is definitely getting a run for their money, and that's I hope that Holly Springs had it in mind that it's not going to be an easy tournament for them to win. And Southeast Raleigh is definitely they're fighters. They're not quitters. They're putting in the work, and they want to give Holly Springs a run for their money. They might have not played them yet, but they are showing it here in these fights and these matchups that it will not be a cakewalk for either of these teams.
Yeah, because keep in mind as well, Southeast Raleigh did not win the first map against Enloe. They dropped the first one and then won the second one. So this is very familiar territory for them, at least in their last matchup. So we'll have to see if the third map will end the same way as the third map ended against Enloe, which was a Southeast Raleigh victory. But Holly Springs going to have to play their third player, which they have not done just yet. So this third player is very fresh, hasn't played a single match, which could be good because you're not coming into this game with any you're not tilted from like the past match or something like that. But it also could be bad because you're not necessarily warmed up either.
That is very true. This next player that's on Holly Springs' team is going to have to either be super fresh, but also be able to be on edge and just sharp and be able to calculate his movements.
Yeah.
I definitely am not the type of player to be able to do well if I'm not warmed up.
Yeah.
But also, this could be anyone's game right here.
It absolutely could. We're going to head into match number 3. figure out, can Holly Springs take that advantage again, or is Southeast Raleigh going to run away with it? We have Xander taking on Toji. We remember how Xander played in the last map, so keep that in mind.
Definitely, and I wonder if Toji's is named after the good old Fuquay-Varina character. But if that's the case, then now I know why I like Toji.
Let's see if he can play, if he can fight as well as Little Mac in this match, though, because so far Xander has a pretty sizable percentage advantage over him.
That is very true, but he does have his KO ready. Let's see if he can land it, and he missed.
Barely a miss, though. That's so incredibly close. And Xander on this bailiff, gotta be careful. So good at playing the edges here. When and where his opponent is gonna hop out.
Even though he might have not warmed up this whole game, he does have a couple rounds to be able to warm up and get right into his flow state.
Don't have long, so you gotta pick up pieces ASAP, but so far he hasn't died just yet, so able to hold his own, and he almost draws first blood against Xander. So incredibly close, and keep in mind, it was like 80% to 0 in favor of Xander. Now, Toji's actually the one who draws first blood.
Toji is definitely getting into his flow state here. You can see it, his aggressiveness and his play style. He's accurate, and he's able to recover back from it with his KO, and he's out. Unfortunate.
So he's got too far off the map. For Little Mac, but look at that. Shot 78%, 95%. Xander, gotta be careful, your friend.
So you guys have the lead here right now for 10. Nice arrow that he did with that.
So important because keep in mind, Xander, this is an unfamiliar territory for him. He hasn't been down this far in quite some time. See if Toji is able to close it out. 136%. One good shot should be enough, but same could be said for Bailiff. Xander did some nice damage. And look at that. I mean, Little Mac's such poor recovery. He's coming out immediately.
Wow, just evening out the playing field. These players are not giving each other a break. They want to keep each other on the same level. They're definitely both wounded, but they are not tired.
Some players are getting very scrappy with it. Keep in mind, Toji did take a decent percentage disadvantage in stock number 1. He was able to claw all the way back, so numbers don't mean anything in this scenario. We're just barely missing the KO.
Just so close. The percentage is so close, and Toji keeps the distance.
Xander dangerously low. That's at 110%. Going to be blocked.
Right now, the spotlight is definitely shining on Toji's side. He's looking like a rock star in this match right here. Right there.
I don't think it's going to be enough. Got to be careful, though. One good combo out of either of these players, and it could be it. Wow, so close. That's it. It's enough. It is. Toji able to win.
Way to go, man. You're the champ, baby.
Wow.
Toji. Wow, Killer Mac more like.
For real.
Absolutely menace in that round.
Yeah, Toji, I mean, took such a disadvantage on that first stock, went down. I believe it was like 80% to 0. It was either 60% or 80%. It was still a decent chunk, and was just able to claw his way back, get the first blood, and then able to, obviously pull out the victory there. I mean, Little Mac seems to be a favorite of these two teams, and for a good reason. If you're able to play Little Mac as good as these guys are, I mean, heck, play him every game, man.
Yeah, definitely. They do have, there's definitely a personal favorite in this tournament, and it's looking like it's Little Mac. But I mean, this is just so super close. I mean, like I'm like teeth clenchingly close with these two teams.
Yeah.
I don't, as you know, as much as I am rooting for Holly Springs, I really don't know who's going to be able to take the cake home for this tournament. They are putting up a fight individually, and now that Toji's warmed up, I wonder if he's going to be even more ferocious this next upcoming round.
We'll have to see how map number 2 goes in this third match. And is Holly Springs going to take us to series point, or is it Southeast Raleigh who's going to find themselves one step closer to that grand finals victory? And Xander got to pick up the pieces somewhere. Definitely not what he was expecting. It's actually just going to be a repeat of the Byleth and Little Mac matchup.
Go!
Well, I definitely have to see who is the better out of these
two. It is proving to be Toji, as he is the one up 1-0, but Xander doesn't want anybody to count himself out just yet.
They're definitely putting a fight against each other. It's almost even percentages here.
Definitely, if you are Xander, you do not want to get too close to that KO. One wrong move, you'll find yourself respawning.
When that KO is gone for good old Doji over here.
Xander has the advantage, but 2 shots from the Little Mac will be enough to make it all the difference. Just look at that. I mean, that is where I think Xander is going to excel, is exploiting the poor recovery that Little Mac does have. And as long as you're able to knock him off the map a decent way, you don't even have to fully eliminate him. You just have to get him far enough that his recovery is.
You're absolutely right. That is exactly what I'm thinking Xander's got in mind here. He wants to keep him off the stage and wants Toji be his own demise.
Toji fighting back, clawing back. The recovery out of Byleth is just so much greater than Little Max, but the damage, look at that. KO available for Xander. Perry, get the KO off.
Seems like he's baiting. Toji baiting back and forth, and he gets that hit on the KO. Wasn't enough, 54%. Xander. And they're equal now, 54-54. We'll see what's going to happen here next. Toji putting on the aggression and then Xander matching it. 87%. Toji's with the lead on percentage.
Find the opening. Nice little shot right there. Arrow's going to do nothing. It's Toji just playing the distance. Right there, he's gonna get shot off the map, and
better.
I mean, that's just the name of the game. I mean, you don't even have to kill him; just get him far enough away, and he'll do the rest.
Toji needs to learn quickly and adapt. That is definitely what Xander's looking to do with his vulnerability here.
Toji not able to hit any of these combos he's trying to get. Let's get the feint around though. Let's get the shot there. 1-1. Xander dropped map number 1. Can he close out here? Map number 2 does have a percentage lead, but Toji does not want to keep that.
Absolutely not. Xander definitely wants to keep that advantage as much as possible. He wants to keep Toji on the outside of the map, but Toji gets back into the stage. He definitely wants to keep that recovery strong. Xander is able to get back on that stage so much easier.
Less than 14% separates these two fighters. Now it's actually Toji who has the advantage, but it's so close. Who's going to win out here? Crazy, Toji. It's knocked away. Just get the feint off, though. Oh, my goodness.
A KO! A knockout for Toji.
Ending Toji. Able to send Holly Springs up 2-1 with just a that was a crazy ending right there. I mean, both fighters over 100%, both so close to being sent off, and Toji just being the one to able to connect his punches. And now Holly Springs, one match away from calling themselves champions. Southeast Raleigh
Absolutely.
need to change something.
That's absolutely right. They are, what an honorable fight, to say the least. They
Yeah.
definitely, that Toji and Xander were able to just go at it. There was no, they put everything they had on the field, and they did not hold back.
Yeah.
And even though Toji did win, uh, in that battle, there was absolutely no losers. They gave it their best, and it just happened to, it just happened to be Toshi's cake at the end of the day. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely an honorable fight, a strong fight, and almost pay-per-view, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, Xander, even if it was like, if you just showed me the record of that particular match being 2-0, it doesn't show how close it was, because that was anybody's game, especially in map number 2, where Xander was mere like milliseconds from being the one to come out on top. But it was those milliseconds that proved better for Toji, is able to close it out. Now Holly Springs one match away from winning it all. We'll have to see if they're able to close it out in map number 4. Once again, some new perspectives that we're gonna have to see, and new characters, new strategies. What's it going to come out to?
I'm definitely excited for this next matchup to see all these fighters go against each other. Definitely some fresh perspective and fresh
Yeah.
fighting styles. It'll keep us on our feet as well as the fighters
Mhm.
themselves.
Yes, gotta stay on your feet, gotta stay nimble, gotta stay ready for whatever your opponent throws at you. And Holly Springs making the miracle run, 2-0 in the first round, 2-0 in the second round, and now up 2-1 with potentially one to go for them. Gotta make it count, gotta find where your opponent is not prepared. And I'm very curious if we will see another Little Mac. We've seen 2 so far in this grand finals, but the only way to find out is if there's any more Little Mac players for these two teams hopping in. And no, it's actually going to be
Wow.
set 3 and LBM4. You wanted it earlier.
Wow, this is going to be a matchup of a lifetime right here. I can only
Sinor versus King K. Cool. Two characters that like violence and like to fight. And LBM4 both coming out swinging. The match has just started, and both of them combined are over 100%.
very nice. And they both died. Wow. All right.
LBM4 says, if I'm going down, I'm taking you with me.
That's right. Okay, maybe that is going to be the definition of this match. Maybe the yoke
Squads battling it out on two characters that they have yet to either play, at least in this grand finals. Second was Pac-Man champion LBM4, the Little Mac aficionado. Both of them playing entirely different characters.
and a nice belly bump off the stage. And that's what comes on up the side. And another hit from Century X down to live here. Definitely at a disadvantage.
To see this Clash of the Titans, and look at that, already 1-1, slight advantage in favor of set 3. Not much. Just like I say, that LBM4 control it. Is that it? Oh my gosh! LBM4, what did I just witness?
They did not want to waste no time with that round. That is insane.
That was such a quick round. I think that was like 2.5 minutes. Like that was
That is
nothing.
wild. LBM4 definitely put in the aggression and was like, we got to take set 3 out before he gets too warmed up on that round. That is wild.
Yeah, and you know, whenever you're playing something completely different like the King K rule versus the Pac-Man, King K rule does not have the mobility that at least on stage that Pac-Man does. His recovery is very good, but as far as just the speed that Pac-Man has, King K rule does not have that. He's a heavy character. He's going to be a lot different than your Pac-Man and Incineroar. I mean, is very much like Little Mac, where you're able to, you know, be aggressive up close, but just has a lot better recovery and a lot better ability to make these plays happen. And as we saw that, just juggling him off the stage and ricocheting him off the bottom of the stage, and you know, ultimately winning it out.
Absolutely. I think this was a very fun matchup to see. Being able to see them take each other out at the beginning of the round
Yeah.
definitely set the tenor for that whole round. They were like not going to pull any punches. They were going to either make it a very, very desirable match or a very, very quick match. And they did both.
Yes, it was very, very exciting. And now we'll have to see in map number 2, is it going to be more of the same? Is LBM4 going to stick with the Incineroar? Is Set 3 going to stick with the King K rule? Or are we going to see them on what they are good at? Are we going to see the Pac-Man v Little Mac? That's what I'm hoping for, but I'm definitely okay with a rematch just like we see now. Perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
1,
This might be just another quick round, quick match. We'll see how well they play this.
So far, it is picking up right where we left off. Both of these guys just being so aggressive with one another. Taking a slight advantage. So I guess I say that K-Rool's showing his colors.
Absolutely. Seth is keeping LBM4 on his feet by keeping him off the stage. He's got that range projectile, always keeping him on. And then just getting
Gets sucked into the super right there. It hasn't happened again. I think LBM4. Okay, if it happened a third time, I was going to scream. That would be so funny.
He's definitely got a play style on that. That's definitely showing here.
Play style. That play style is called. And it doesn't even matter. LBM4 says, I don't give 2 craps about your play style. I'm gonna send you off the map. Very close to getting shot off. I say that. Yep. Both players have 2 stocks, slight advantage to LBM4. Every time I say that, it just goes the same way. LBM4 doesn't change though.
Always he's got so many projectiles that he can just keep throwing at LBM. And his recovery's so good. LBM just gotta keep the aggression, gotta keep it close, but he keeps getting pounded off stage, and we're both with good recovery here.
I thought for sure somebody was going to find themselves at the bottom of the pit right there. Neither of them take the other down to 1 stock. Ollie Springs close it out, and he gets sucked into the gun. Set 3 has the stock lead. Close it out, send it to a 3rd map. LBM going to send us to a match number 5.
Absolutely. Seeing the way that Seth plays, it seems like he's playing this awesomely like Pac-Man projectile and getting up close to his goal. He definitely is keeping his opponent on the edge of the seat here.
One right there though. LBM4, while he does even the stock, is severely down in percentage.
Seems like he's able to get that percentage back up on Seth though. Keeping it out here.
Good out of him, but Seth now controls the side of the map.
I thought that was going to be game right there for a second.
I thought for sure somebody was going to get grabbed and going to get shot off the map. LBM4 waiting for Set3 to make his move so he can try and counter it. Matters gets slung off the map. Trying to edge guard him.
It's so hard. He gets Set3 off the map, and he gets the final hit. Set3 is down. LBM with another round. Incredible.
We are heading to a match number 5. LBM4. We wanted to see the matchup. Set3 v LBM4. And LBM4 confidently says, I'm that guy. I'm him. And says, I'm going to 2-0 what is arguably your best player. And now 2-2. We could not have asked for a better grand final.
Absolutely. This is match point here, and I hope they still got something left in the tank so that they can actually put it onto good use. We'll see if they're going to continue with the same matchup here with the same characters, but I don't know, man. I think they got good characters against each other, but LBM has always been getting the last hit on these rounds.
Yeah, we'll have to see what this next map entails. Is it going to be in the favor of Southeast Raleigh, or is it going to be the favor of Holly Springs? And Holly Springs, they don't want it to end like this. They don't want it to go down this rabbit hole, but the momentum is in favor of Southeast Raleigh so far. I mean, LBM just playing this Incineroar so well. Is it going to be enough to help push them over the edge and to lead to an ultimate series victory? Or is Holly Springs going to complete this Cinderella run? We'll have to see in this next map. And I mean, I don't know. Like, I want to try and make a prediction, but it's just so hard to tell.
Absolutely. I think we definitely got the better end of the tournament here, seeing Southeast and seeing Holly Springs going against each other. We've definitely got the best teams fighting it out, and they are giving us a show, that's for sure.
Giving us a show, and we'll have to see how well that show ends here in these next matches. It's Cryo taking on Havoc, the Toon Link versus Kirby. 2-2, Southeast Raleigh, Holly Springs. This is going to be an interesting one.
Absolutely. We haven't seen the Kirby yet, but we've seen Toon Link a lot.
We have seen Toon Link seems to be the favorite so far. Cryo has not been having the best of runs so far on a 4-game map loss streak. But so far is having the percentage lead in favor against Havoc.
Absolutely. Cryo fell off the map here, but he's able to he did not recover from that hit, unfortunately. And it's been tough for Cryo here.
That's so unlucky. He had such a big percentage lead, and all of it is for naught. Can he even it out here, though?
Nice by Cryo here.
Right there. Havoc so incredibly low. 20%. And is that enough? No, Kirby manages. Ruthless.
Absolutely. Kirby still got better recovery though. He's able to get back on the stage. He's hitting Cryo hard. Cryo just needs to land a good, lucky shot, but he just keeps recovering. Havoc is so good at recovery here.
I was like, it's just a matter of time until Cryo gets that one that he needs, evens the stocks back up. Cryo can take that percentage lead back that he had in the first stock.
It seems these projectiles by Cryo keeping Havoc on his feet here. He keeps trying to close in the gap that Cryo is able to keep him at a distance.
Boomerangs, bombs, everything doing so well to just poke Havoc out. I'm surprised Havoc has not tried to use his Eat ability on Cryo to maybe get the Toon Link ability, but just yet. 94% to 46. He's got 102, and that right there tries to get it, but isn't able to. It's not close enough.
So yeah, I think what's going on here is Cryo keeps whittling down having shield so that even when he gets close, he's able to land hits on him without his shield. Cryo's looking at up in the gameplay, but he's always missing.
There by Havoc, and here we are, 1-1, essentially no percent lead. 5% is pretty much nothing. And both these players wanting to win it for themselves. Southeast Raleigh, Holly Springs. Can Cryo or Havoc close it out? And there we go. Finally gets the two-link ability.
There you go. It's interesting. These past deaths by Cryo has been, in my opinion, a miscalculation on his end. Whether it was falling off the map or just a mistake, or it seems like he's not able to lock in here.
Yeah, I think the first SD by him is super unlucky because he had such a large advantage in that first stock. And right there, Cryo says, I don't care that I gave away my first life. Southeast Raleigh, one map away from making themselves the victors. But Holly Springs, can they battle back? Can they find it?
That's very true. They got Cryo is definitely putting in work. I think that was the first game that we've seen Cryo make it to the end screen.
Yeah,
it's not a diss. It's just it's impeccable. I love to see it happen more often.
Yeah.
But he's definitely putting in work, and I think he's definitely starting to lock into his flow state here.
Yeah, it's not a diss, but it sounds like a diss, but it's not, because it's like, no, I mean, we have yet to see him win. And it's something where you lose so many games in a row, and it's just, really beats you up as a competitive player. I mean, I've been there. There's been times where you're playing a match against a very good opponent and you just consistently lose and lose and lose, and it just beats away at your mind. And it's like, all right, well, I mean, I guess I'm just not good at all. It's like, no, you're a great player. You're just losing these games in either unlucky ways, or you're just getting completely outplayed. In the matter of Enloe, I mean, just got completely outplayed by Bone. And then, in the first match that we saw him in this grand finals, just wasn't able to pull out the victory, but able to take a map now. And can we head into map number 2? Can Cryo head into that and close it out? Can he win when his team needs him to most?
Absolutely. Yes. And I think now that he's able to put in the work and show his work, I think he definitely has a chance of absolutely taking the pot over taking the pot for his team, just taking it home. And we definitely saw that's the last game. But I'm definitely excited to see what's going to be coming up next here.
Yeah. Can Southeast Raleigh close it out, or is Holly Springs going to send us to a map number 3? Havoc back on that Joker. Cryo on the Toon Link. Cryo wanting so desperately to win it for his team.
1, go!
Havoc definitely knowing that the Joker probably a better play against Toon Link going back. It's definitely a flashback to our older match here. Nice bomb by Cryo here, and the projectiles keeping Havoc here. Just absolutely bombarded by these bombs. His percentage at 82 for Havoc. Cryo's putting in work.
Making this Pokemon stage look like it's a war zone with the amount of bombs being thrown around, but almost getting hit right there as he came back into recovery.
Absolutely. Seems like these are definitely an even match here between Cryo and Havoc. He's able to get that change back up on Cryo, but the Cryo is able to keep him even higher in damage.
careful though if you are Cryo. Too cocky right there. Does get hit. Almost finds himself off the map. Does juke Havoc. The Havoc gets a quick recovery. It's going to be enough though.
Got it.
Cryo, a nice hit on Cryo. Let's see if they're able to finish it out here. Havoc keeping that pressure on. Cryo trying to keep that distance, and he closes in with a nice strike here.
Finally, Havoc is the one to draw first blood. Percentage 135%. Gotta be careful. Doesn't dodge the second one. Stocks are now even.
There's definitely a match we've been asking for here from both teams. Havoc and Cryo showing all they got on this battlefield. They know this is the last game for them.
They do not want to get themselves sent home knowing they got second place. Second place, first loser.
Making it this far with nothing. State. Cryo getting hit by Havoc.
Nice shot, Havoc. Making it 2-1. Joker winning out so far at least. And Cryo though, can he close it out? 88% of 4 shots will be enough.
Cryo knows that if he keeps the pressure on, he might be able to even out the battlefield here with Havoc.
Havoc wanting to send us to a map number 3, wanting to send Cryo and put him up against, against the wall. You got to be careful. Your back is against the wall. You don't want to lose when your team comes to close.
Havoc definitely needs to make sure that he's able to stay nimble on his feet. Easy win, but he is defeated again. This is now an even playing field between Cryo and Havoc. We'll definitely see the winner out of these two this round right here.
79%. I've seen bigger comebacks, but it is still a large mountain for Cryo to climb. Can he do it? Gotta find your rhythm, gotta find a few consecutive shots.
Definitely anything could happen, anything could be the end, but he can still leave it.
So incredibly close between these two guys. Cryo almost getting the shot that gets the bomb off. Is it gonna be enough?
Feels like it's still going insane.
Range does favor Cryo on this Toon Link, but is range going to be enough for recoveries? So incredibly close. Going early grab. Can Cryo finish it? He gets the sword. He gets it. Oh my gosh. Cryo. Step up when his team needs it. Able to claim the victory for Southeast Raleigh. Oh, the Cinderella run out of Holly Springs almost comes to fruition. They fall just short at the finish line.
That is incredible. What a crazy play by both teams. Definitely with nothing left in the tank, and they made us pay for that show. Let me tell you, that was incredible. That was insane.
Yeah, they made sure everybody watching gets their money's worth. They want to give you a show, and Cryo stepping up when his team needed it most, winning it out, not only winning 2-0, but that was so close. This is another one of those matches where if you just showed me the record and it says 2-0, that doesn't do it justice. That doesn't tell me how close it was. It's not like an NBA box score where it says like 105 to 104. I can see the game was close there. You're not able to see it when you just look at this. So it's so hard, and Cryo able to win it out versus Havoc.
Absolutely, absolutely. They definitely with the way that Havoc played it and Cryo played it, you definitely saw that Havoc was definitely trying his best, but it wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
But Cryo, it was incredible to see Cryo step up, like you said, step up and show that he's definitely worth the team effort. He's definitely worth the pick on that team, and definitely saying that he's still got more left in him.
Still got more left in them. And this is not the end of the road for these two teams. Both of these teams are going to be heading to the LAN next week, with Southeast Raleigh being the number 1 seed because they won. And, Holly Springs, yes, they did come up empty handed and finish second, but they still have a chance at this LAN. They have definitely proven that they deserve to not only be in this playoffs, but they deserve to be in this LAN. They played a heck of a tournament, and they're gonna find themselves playing in a much bigger show. But that is going to do it for us here at the Varsity Esports STEM League. I've been Podslow and Biscuits. You got any closing remarks?
All I gotta say is, it might be the end of the tournament here, but it's definitely not the end of the story for these two teams,
Yeah.
and we're definitely excited to see how the grand tournament plays out for these two teams in this upcoming week. So definitely excited. Great plays for every single team that was associated in this tournament. Everybody did their best, and it was such a good show to watch them play.
Absolutely. And we'll have to keep updated with their performance and see if they are able to continue to be as good as they were today in the following games that they do play. So, anyways, like I said, that is going to do it for us here at the VESL. My name has been Podslim. Over there has been Cracky Biscuits. We hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Have a good one, guys.